Hello friends, in this video tutorial, we are going to learn how to create custom login in Laravel 9 framework. In previous part, we have already learned how to make custom registration form under Laravel 9 framework, and we have register one user. Now in this part, we will make custom login page. And then after register user can login into this Laravel 9 application. Now let's start discussing this topic. So first we want to make login form. So we have goes into login blade file, and under this file, we want to make login form. So here we have to write form tag with action attribute is equal to Laravel expression. And between this, we have to write root method, and under this, we have to write sample.validate login, so it will send login form data to this validate login method. After this, we have to write method attribute is equal to post. Under this form, first we have to write @CSRF directive. This directive can protect from cross-site forgery attacks. Under this form, we have to create input field for get user email address details. So here we have to write input type is equal to text, and name is equal to email address. And below this, we want to display validation error for this email address field. So here, we have to write @if directive, and under condition, we have to write $errors variable with has method, and under this method, we have to write email address. If there is any, this input field validation error has been occurred, then it will execute if block of code. And between this, we have to write span tag with class is equal to text danger. And between this, we have to write Laravel expression, and between this, we have to write $errors variable with first method, and under this method, we have to write email address, so it will display validation error for this email address field. After this, we want to create input field for get password details. So here, we have to write input type is equal to password, and name is equal to password. Now for display validation error for this password field, so here we have to write @if directive. And under condition, we have to write $errors variable with has method with field name password. If there is any this password field validation error has been created, then it will execute this block of code. And under this block for display validation error, here we have create one span tag with class is equal to text danger. And between this, we have to write Laravel expression, and between this, we have to write $errors variable with first method, and under this method, we have to write input field name password. So it will display validation error of input password field. Now for submit login form data. So here, we have to write button tag with type is equal to submit, and after this, we have to write class is equal to button dark, and between this button tag, we have to write login. So by click on this button, login form data has been submitted to server for validate user login details. So here our form is ready. Now we have goes to sample controller file. And here, we have create validate login method with $request variable is parameter. Under this method, first we want to validate login form data, so here we have to write $request variable with validate method, and under this method, we have to define validation rules in an array format. So in key, we have to write email, and in value, we have to write required. So this field value is required for submit login form data. In second key, we have to write password, and in value, we have to write required. So this rules will check value of this field, and this field value is required for submit form data. So if there is any validation error occur, then it will display validation error on the web page. But suppose there is no any validation error has been occur, then it will proceed for validate user login details. So below this, we have to write $credentials variable is equal to $request variable with only method, and under this method, we have to write email input field, and password input field name. So here, we have to store user login credentials details under this variable. Now for validate user login details, here we have to write if statement, and under condition, we have to write authentication class with attempt method. And under this method, we have to write $credentials variable. So this condition will check if user has entered correct login details. Then it will execute if block of code, and under this block, we have to write return statement with redirect method, and under this method, we have to write dashboard method, so it will redirect web page to this method. But suppose user has entered wrong login details, then it will display login page with error message. So here we have to write return statement with redirect method. And under this method, we have to write login, so it will redirect web page to login method. Now for display error message, here we have to write with method with two argument. In first argument, we have to write success variable name, and in second argument, we have to write error message like login details not valid, so this message will display if user has entered wrong login details. Now below this, we have create dashboard method, and this method will display dashboard page when user has been logged into system. So under this method, first we want to check user is logged in or not, so for this, here we have to write if statement, and under condition, we have to write authentication class with check method, so this method will check if user has logged into system, then it will execute if block of code. And under this block, we have to write return statement with view method. And under this method, we have to write dashboard, so it will load dashboard view blade file in the browser. But suppose user is not logged into system and try to access this method, then it must be redirect to login page. So here, we have to write return statement with redirect method. And under this method, we have to write login, so it will redirect to login method. Now for display error message, so here we have to write with method with two parameter. In first parameter, we have to write success, and in second argument, we have to write error message like you are not allowed to access, so this message will be displayed. Now, we have to open dashboard.blade.php file, and under this file, first we want to extend main blade, so here, we have to write @extends directive with name main. After this, for display this page content, so here we have to write @section directive with name content. And this section has been closed by @end section directive with name content. Between this, we have to paste this HTML code with this message. So if user has been logged into system, then this dashboard page will be displayed on the web page with logout link. Now we have goes to sample controller class, and here, we have to create logout method. Under this method, first we have to write session class with flush method. So this method will remove all session data. After this, we have to write authentication class with logout method. And after logout from system, we want to redirect web page to login page. So here, we have to write return statement with redirect method with login. So this code will redirect web page to login form. Now we have goes to web.php file, and here, we want to set root for validate login method. So here, we have to write root class with post method with 2 argument. In first argument, we have to write validate login, and in second argument, we have to write validate login, and after this, we have to write name method. And under this method, we have to write sample.validate login, so it will set root for validate login method. After this, for set root for dashboard method, so here, we have to write root class with get method. In first argument, we have to write dashboard, and in second argument, we have to write dashboard. After this, we have to write name method with dashboard, so it will set root for dashboard method. So here our code is ready. Now we have to check output in the browser. Friends, first we have to refresh web page, and after refresh of web page, here we can see that login page has been displayed on the web page. Now first we want to check validation is working or not, so we have directly click on login button. So after click on login button, here we can see validation error on the web page. Now in login form, we have to enter login details. Now in login form, we have enter login details. And after this, we have to click on login button. So after click on login button, here we can see error message like login details are not valid. Now in the login form, we have to enter correct email and password details. And after this, we have to click on login button. So after click on login button, then here we can see that user has been logged into system. And here, we can see dashboard web page has been displayed in the browser with logout link. So this page accessed by the login user if user is not logged into system and try to access this web page. Then it will redirect to login page, so only login user can access this dashboard page. Now we want to log out from the system, so we have click on logout link. So after click on logout link, user has been logged out from the system. And redirect to login page, and here we can see login form with login and registration link. So in this tutorial series, we have learned how to make custom login and registration in Laravel 9 framework from scratch. So here we have stopped this tutorial, and we will be meet with new video tutorial on Laravel 9 framework.